Alright, let's settle ourselves, dwarves. Now gather around and get comfortable. There we are. How are we feeling today? A bit weary, perhaps. Yes, well, it hasn't been an easy task getting Scorchfountain chipped away, eh? For those of you who aren't familiar with this humble beard, I am Zan Eidenkosh, newly appointed chronicler of the Scorching Hall. Before we get started here, I'd like to take this time to thank our beardless Mayor Moldath for allowing us the opportunity to pause our labor and enjoy its fruits. A hell of a guy, to be sure. I'd say we're doing much better since his appointment. I think many of you would agree. Now, if we could just get some new clothing around here, we'd be doing really well. Pardon my appearance, by the way. Okay, my fellow dwarves. Keeping in mind that I have not told a story to such a large group before, I say we start ourselves off with a story that many of you know well already, but is one also worth retelling. Today, my fine dwarves of the Scorching Hall, I'll be telling a story of life and love, of death and of broken hearts. Our story today regards a figure as powerful as he is mysterious, a dwarf who met his grisly end more than 700 years ago, and yet walks amongst us to this very day. Indeed, this dwarf does more than walk. This is a dwarf that rules our empire, the Abbey of Proliferation. This is the story of Bim Fikodatir, the Damned King. The clatter of flails, bowstrings thrumming, matzangs blaring, beards, beetles, blood. In 284, our armies marched just as they still do today. To exist in the universes of wonder, a price must be paid. Its currency is war, and dwarves, our people, are wealthy indeed. Our world forever burns hot with the fires of combat. And much as a spark flies from the forge, a baby entered into this inferno. His blood's origin is unknown and is forever unknowable, having been lost to the annals of time. His name was Bim, but in this, his first life, it is a name that mattered little. For 71 years, he lived in an unassuming hillocks, known as Lance Hood. His role was that of the honest dwarf. Brief religious leader, occasional lover. The life of Bim, ironically, was quite lifeless indeed, and it came to a crushing end in 355, beneath the titanic fist of Shetbeth Glistenumber, the Amber, a cyclops, who I should mention lives on to this day, but no matter. That was the end of Bim's story. His form was smashed into the soil of that hillocks, and it took very little time for his legacy to become forgotten. Who can say what happens to the dwarven soul when Oost rips it away from our mortal coil to place it high amongst the stars? For 376 years, Bim hung high in the heavens, amongst countless other souls. The natural cycle of things states this to be the pinnacle of existence for our people, an eternal rest, designed to serve as ultimate reward for a life well lived. Here in the universes of wonder, though, death, much like life, is not guaranteed. The call of the necromancer, silent to the living, reaches far into the endless star fields. In 731, the lost soul of Bim Fikodatir was wrested from Oost's rotting talons and returned once more to his tattered husk. He had been restored to life as an undying creature, silent, stoic, empowered by a newfound force of will. Bim was a damned one, beholden to none but himself, and given a miraculous second chance, Bim saw the folly of his ways, and would not again make those same mistakes. Race-old, dark citadel, home to countless ghoulish nightmares. With no family and no immediate goals, it would serve as Bim's home. now returned to life, Bim could see and appreciate all he had missed those hundreds of years ago. The interactions, the foul exchanges, the deadly dance of intrigue played by the necromancers. Our future king watched on through it all, gleaning much regarding the acquisition of power. Knowledge was to be his shield, and his blade was forged of iron will. Though even equipped with these impressive armaments, a weakness remained. A chink in his steely armor. That weakness was his unbeating heart. Bim had spent much time in the tower, fighting in the necromancer's petty conflicts. His reborn mind was growing dull from this relatively stale existence. But in 782, his unbeating heart felt life's forgotten pull once more. The wind was crisp that late autumn day. The leaves had just begun to turn, when through the crooked arches of race old strode a new figure, a necromancer. But this one was much unlike the others. Her hair was as white as untouched tundra, her skin flawlessly modeled. Her name was Obak Mishthemid, and on her shoulders rode the heady aroma of love. The future king was spellbound. Obak the Necromancer was a dangerous and enigmatic being. Yes, she was a regular competitor and champion of the local bow-throwing tournaments, though her numerous accolades were never the prize Obak sought. For she, like our King Bim, yearned for something more, something they both found in each other. What followed was a whirlwind of a romance, the details of which are foggy at best. None but Bim and Obak know the intricate details of this strange, complex relationship. We could speculate, but it wouldn't be a wise decision considering Bim's current standing as king of our realm. What we do know, however, is that the love between these two was fraught with tumult, yet quite long-lasting. Yes, throughout the course of the next 374 years, the pair continued pursuing their own separate goals, while also struggling to maintain their violently fickle affair. Marriage was always a temporary arrangement, never lasting more than a few decades. In all, there were 6 of such unions between the two, each ending in divorce. Though through it all, they continued on through their own separate endeavors. Obak competing in tournament after tournament, and Bim silently watching, biding his time, his lifeless eyes focused solely on the crown. Now, it is still widely debated how Bim initially took power, but there can be no doubt that upon seeing his chance, he acted with meteoric speed. His time came in 1027, with the passing of Queen Einod Labor Frenzy, the last in a line that spanned more than 400 years. Possibly bolstered by his peers, Bim seized the opportunity and claimed the crown, and to this very day has held the position of King of the Abbey of Proliferation. A just and mighty reign it has been, too, one the Abbey of Proliferation has only flourished under. Truly, we live in a golden age, and one would do well to remember it was made possible only under the reign of this once unassuming player. Beetle from a grub, big things come from small places. It's true what they say. Now, we could end the story here, of course, but judging by the faces out there, questions remain. Whatever came of Bim's lover, Obak? Well, as we know, today our esteemed king's throne is shared by another, Queen Sodel. And a fine consort the headless queen seems to be. Though, having only married after the founding of our home here at Scorchfountain, one can't help but be curious how such a short-lived relationship could have resulted in our current queen. What happened to Obak? Again, it wouldn't be wise for us to speculate too deeply, but suffice it to say, word around the capital suggests Obak hasn't gone very far at all. If you catch my meaning. Whispers suggest that the king keeps her very close indeed, though you did not hear it from me. Understand? All of you. So, there you have it. The story of a dwarf who squandered his life, but upon being given a second chance, really took the beetle by the horn. A chance that not every dwarf gets, mind you, so make sure you make the best of the one you now live. Dwarves of Scorchfountain, I thank you for listening to this tale. I hope you have a new appreciation for this life and our king, And also for our new mayor, Moldath the Beardless, without whom we would not be enjoying this story here today. Oh, and dwarves, before I let you go, I'd like to address the latest rumors flying around Scorchfountain about the dwarf found in their bedroom this morning, supposedly drained of blood. Now, things are under control. Just carry on with your business like usual, no worries. This is Scorchfountain after all. We are all safe. Acker be praised.